And we have next session from Abhinandan, who's going to take a good session on understanding teams, roles, and responsibilities. To say about Abhinandan, Abhinandan is playing a role of QA lead here in ThoughtWorks with almost 10.5 years of experience. And here in, I mean, overall 10.5 years of experience, and here with ThoughtWorks for almost 2.5 years of experience. And he has played a diversified role as a QA lead and as an RPA developer and as a test analyst. So we are good to have you today, Abhinandan, and over to you.
Thank you, Kaushik. Hi all, hope you're doing well. So currently we'll get into a topic which is off technical. So in the recent agile world, people are facing challenges in understanding their roles and responsibilities, and people also are not aware of few of the existing process and tools available which could help resolve this. So I'm going to give a mild walkthrough on this today. Get started. So this is our agenda. We'll see what is the problem statement. We'll see what is the RACI metrics. We'll see how we can align responsibilities for roles at each competency levels. Okay. So problem statement, right? In today's agile world, we have a very diversified team. So we have team members like project manager, business analyst, SMEs, devs, clients, tech leads, etc. Right? And also like within each one of these roles, there is a different competency level. So there can be a beginner in a team, there can be a proficient member in the team, and there can be someone who is an expert, right? So with these things, now the complexity of understanding the responsibilities is introduced. Okay. So any idea like what is the RACI metrics, or anyone here, right, have knowledge on this RACI? Okay, cool. Looks like no one has heard about it. Let me explain. So RACI stands for so responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed. So as you read the words, right, it pretty much summarizes the task under each of these items. So responsible. Okay. So before like explaining these items, right, let me explain why RACI was formed. So RACI helps in defining a clear and concise role boundaries. So currently in our team, we were roughly 15 plus members with various roles, and there was gaps in people owning responsibilities, which was a potential risk for the delivery as well as the quality. And with this RACI exercise, it helped in identifying the boundaries for each piece. So when we say RACI, right, a responsible person is one who actually does the ground job. So he wants it, he wants the work, he ensures it's done. And accountable is a person or stakeholder, right, who is the owner of the work, which means he coordinates with the responsible guy and see if the like a task or any deliverable is being taken care, and he ensures that whatever the consultation and whoever needs to be informed, right, it's been taken care. And when we see an accountable person, right, so it is recommended that it can be a single single accountable person. So moving on to the consulted role, so if the responsible person or the accountable person, right, if he or she needs any inputs, then they can get consultation with different stakeholders. So those are the people who we call as consulted. So informed is someone we keep with the CC, right? So they just need to know there is a task going on. And, if any inputs, right, other than coming from consultation, right, they can also provide inputs to the task. So let's see a sample RACI metrics. If you see, right, the columns, we can see the list of tasks is being listed out. And in the column wise, in the columns, you can see, right, there are different stakeholders, roles and their names listed out. So we can add the task and the task description, and also we can mark like for a particular task, what is their contribution. So I'll give a sample. So I'll walk through this with an example with a sample application. let's say take this is a very straightforward data processor application. So when the process begins, right? Let's assume this is a HRM application. So let's assume a candidate is hired, and the system processes the candidate data. If the data is without any validation errors, then the next sequences it will publish events to the downstreams. In case if there are any errors, right, there is activity called fault store analysis and fix. And once this activity is done, then again the data is sent for candidate data processing. Now let's take this particular task of fault store and analysis and fix. So I have listed out the description of the fault store analysis and data fix. As per the expectation, it is a place where fault store is, we have defined what is a fault store and what needs to be done if we encounter data in the fault store. So all those information has been provided as description here. Now let's assume there are various stakeholders here. Now how this activity happened is we included all these stakeholders in a call, and we presented the one owning this activity, right? So they get consulted with different stakeholders and they agreed to this point. Now in the project, if again if there is any let's say like John is rolled off or Mary is rolled off, right? And if a new person is coming to the project, right, then having this document in place need not need to explain this this process again and again. So looking at this document, it's a single reference, and people who are joining newly or who are getting rotated, right? So they can understand better on the different tasks, and so who are responsible or consulted or informed or accountable. Moving on to the next slide. So any questions here, folks? Okay, I'll take that as a no. So having seen this, right, now we'll look at the second problem statement. So how to solve the responsibilities understanding between different competency levels. So as you know, competency is nothing but the different levels, like starting from the beginner, moving on to the proficient expert, right? So why we want to have the roles like assigned with responsibilities? Because accepting responsibility is very crucial for the project success. So it also helps each individual to understand their contributions, their learnings and mistakes, right, without being weighed down by regret, guilt or shame. So it is an opportunity to list out the bare minimal expectation as responsibilities for a particular role. And in this exercise, each and every role with different competency can challenge and agree to the expectations. So these are the recommended steps when we are doing this exercise. So even before, let's assume a QA team having diversified professions or diversified experienced folks, right? So even before connecting with them, try to list out all the possible responsibilities against each competency. Then usually a QA lead, a project manager and tech lead, like, so they can get together and get the list of items prepared even before having it presented to the other PAQs. So I'll just show you an example of how this exercise was done in our project. So we took this Mural software to accomplish this. So what happened is, so we have listed down what is the competencies to demonstrate of a novice, what is the competencies to demonstrate as an advanced beginner. Then we also mentioned like what is their responsibilities in the project and what they need to take care in the project. And as part of this exercise, right, again, when we relate it to the RACI, right, let's assume if a member is rolling on and rolling off the project, right, then the member in rolling on, so we'll get a good idea, a fair amount of idea, like what he or she needs to supposed to be contributed to the project. So as part of this exercise, we got feedback from our different stakeholders like TLs and even the participants. And upon the feedback, we also got action items aligned, and currently folks are also working on this. So this is also a very amicable way to get the responsibilities shared with your peers. So I am done with this. Do we have any questions? Okay, I take that as a no. Over to you, Kaushik.
Yeah, thanks, Abhinandan. So that's really makes sense, even though it's non-technical, right? So everyone should know the responsibilities and act based on that, right?